Ira Tangata is the original name for person in Te Ao Māori. It doesn't translate to intersex.
Yeah.
No way does it translate to intersex. But if we broke those words down into two separate words, you have Ira, which means genetics.
Right.
And then you have Tangata, which means person. And so if you put the both of them together, you can form a construct around personhood.
Right.
What it means to be a person rather than what it means to be a male or a female.
Right.
It's never ever been used to identify people in the current context. But we've been so colonised in our thinking, in the way we do things, that we've actually forgotten as Māori where we come from. So we're more worried about what we are as opposed to who we are. We're more worried about what society wants us to be, but actually when we go take it back another step, Māori are more in tune with who they are holistically, physically, spiritually, everythingly.
So that sort of goes against the need to subscribe to these labels and subscribe to this he, him, she, her.
When we look at our traditional language, when we look at our karakia, when we look at our waiata, it doesn't actually, the older, not the more
sort of
contemporary.
pre-colonial.
Yeah, pre-contemporary. We'll call it pre-contemporary.
Pre-contemporary.
We all use American music and sounds and stuff to make things sound right these days for Māori music. But when we go back to traditional ways of our language, there wasn't actually anything that says, he tāne koe, you are male. He wahine koe, you are female. There was none of that kind of talk, none of those narratives that came out. And as we've kind of evolved, a softer way of saying it, colonised, it's kind of framed the way our language has changed, the way our association to our whenua has changed, to our communities, to our marae, our whānau hapu and iwi. That's changed the whole narrative of things. So Ira Tangata for me is paramount. For me it's Ira Tangata. I'm Māori before I'm anything else. And to translate that into a simple term, I'm more concerned about who I am as a Māori rather than what I am because society told me I should be this way.
Right.
And so separating the two differences out becomes the struggle for our community, not just in the intersex community, but also in the wider rainbow Takatapu and MVP FAF communities as well. And so I think about what does this mean for our young people that now have an opportunity to kind of carry all of this mātauranga, this education, this knowledge. What does that mean now for our tamariki mokopuna, our rangatahi who, have found their voices? It gives them that option to also explore, actually, if you are Māori, perhaps take it back a step further and simplify your journey to understand who you are as a Māori first, because you actually might find that if you look at your culture, if you look at your indigeneity, if you look at that aspect, that might actually give you the answers you need rather than looking for a Western concept of what it means about identity.
It's almost like you don't want to look for validation from a system that wasn't necessarily set up for you or about you.
Nothing was set up for Māori in this space. And that's just part of this when we think about the impacts on Māori. My idea is that we take the steps slowly to kind of explore parts of it before people get the idea to form the bigger picture for them.
Yeah.
We're doing all of this originally because someone else is viewing us differently.
Yes.
If we view ourselves in a positive light, or if we view ourselves first as being celestial, if we see ourselves as being godly, if we see ourselves as being atua, then that elevates our thinking above what community or society tells us we should do.